Hey guys, what's up? I am back with another recap and review. However, this is for the new Bravo Network's show, Kandi and the Gang, with Kandi Burst Tucker and her whole crew. And I just had to come and give you guys this review and give you some of my thoughts and opinions. So, without further ado, as usual, I'm Janice or Barb. Just do not call me Janice or Barbara. And let's get into the video. Okay, guys, so the show, it begins with Kandi. She's giving a glimpse into like a recap of, saying how the OLG restaurant has been up and operating for the past 5 years. And it was kind of an idea. If you guys have watched Real Housewives of Atlanta, you will know that this whole idea for the OLG, Old Lady Gang, comes from Kandi's mom, Mama Joyce, and Aunt Nora and Aunt Bertha. Those three sisters. That's where the whole idea comes from. In case no one knows, let me just say that. And Todd kind of thought we should turn this into a restaurant idea, and it kind of just went from there. So cool. And if you guys have been following anything about her situation, you would know that both her restaurants, OLG, and she has another restaurant called Blaze, I believe, that is a little bit more upscale. Like OLG is like a, church, come as you are, girl, come as you are. But I think Blaze, they have a dress code and whatnot over there. But if you guys have been following the news for the past year, I want to say last summer, some reports came out about her restaurants not being up to code, and they kept failing the inspections and stuff like that. And even right now, I think as recently as a couple of days ago, don't quote me on this, that they were put at a C ranking. And I'm just like, oh boy. Okay. So we're gonna get some more insight into that, of course. But it opens up with that whole spiel and just kind of giving us a little insight into how the business is going and all that. So Kandi and Todd are on their way to OLG, and they're going to be meeting with Don Juan. If you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know Don Juan is literally Kandi's right-hand man. He helps her with all her businesses, and if you see Kandi, you won't see him too far over there or whatever. Everything that she does, he's usually involved with. So it was only right that when they experienced losing their most recent general manager, mind you, they've lost quite a couple in the past couple years, apparently. So just keep in mind that Don Juan has kind of been down there at OLG, literally trying to keep things running and keep things going and, help facilitate daily operations. But that's not his only job. Kandi needs him for her other businesses. So we need to get somebody else up in there who could really run the show. And that person would be Philip, which is he's gonna be the new chief of operations, not even the GM, I don't think. Or is he? Yeah. Or will he? I think he is going to be the GM, and Don Juan is still chief of operations. Whatever. All I know is there's a new boss in town, and his name is Philip, honey. And he is not here to play no games. And my only issue, okay, I'm going to say it, is if you don't know by now, I was in the military for 5 years, and I love how, everyone just equates structure and all these things he must have been in the military. Just because he's super, let me stop voguing, doesn't mean that he was necessarily in the military or whatever. He just don't play is what we captured from this. And we see them, Kandi and Todd, roll up, and they're about to host a staff meeting and kind of formally introduce Philip to the rest of the staff. And right from the get-go, we learn Philip has been in the restaurant business for 16 years, and they actually hand-picked him from his previous employer, who, in so many words, I'm gonna just say it. He didn't say it, but we could read between the lines. Mr. Philip said, yeah, so I'm kind of used to working at a certain level of restaurant, and the level of OLG is maybe not, they're not the same. Maybe that's what I picked up on. So let me know in the comments if you picked it up on it too, because that's what I picked up on. Anyway, like I said, they arrived, they're being greeted, and I forget how much time, there was like less than an hour for the doors to open, and the floors upstairs, they're still waiting for the floors to dry, and I'm like, okay, and there's a line out, down, past, back around the corner of people waiting for them to open, so I'm just like, okay, I don't know how this is gonna work, but okay. And like, if I don't know if I said before, Philip is a handsome man, good looking, and he is not about to come in here and play. And before we could even really get into it real good, and before he could even really say much of anything, we meet another cast member, or another member of the staff, Miss Shawndarika. And I'm gonna just say this right now, I don't know the young lady personally or anything like that, but I will just say, I don't like her attitude, I don't like her work ethic, or lack thereof, I should say. But Kandi being she always holds loyalty above like anything else, and I feel like that can be such a great attribute, and it could also be to your detriment a lot of times, because she needs to go. I'm gonna just say it, she needs to go. She's the host, and hosts, they should be very welcoming. They should, like, hospitality should be their middle name, and old girl does not show that at all. Most of the bad reviews are about, like, a good portion of them, I should say, are in reference to her. So, and she's the first person that you're greeted by at the door. So something's just not matching up, and I kind of sided with Todd a lot this episode, and Philip a lot with this episode, because I feel like you don't need to come in there and be just slapping people left and right. No, that's not what I'm saying. But you need to kind of be stern sometimes with certain people, because they just don't get it unless you're stern with them and direct. And a lot of times people take assertiveness as for like rudeness, and that's not the case. Like, you could be assertive and direct and get your point across, but a lot of people want things to be sugar coated, or like, just because you say something that you don't like, now it's like, oh, you're rude or this or that. It's like, no, like, you just didn't like what I said. Like, if you don't agree with what I say, that's fine, we can agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, we're all here to do a job, and if they're putting him in charge, you guys kind of gotta do what he's telling you to do, unless, you know, he's asking you to, I don't know, like, mortgage your house. Anybody catch that? Anyway, unless he's asking something so crazy, like, you should probably just go with it. And the man didn't even get to say anything before she turns around to Dominique, who is the bartender. Apparently she is the bartender, and that actually comes second to her dancing career. She's danced for Megan Thee Stallion, and she's always touring around and dancing with her team or whoever, and whatever artists and whatnot, which is great, great, great. Dominique, yes. And so they're kind of, I feel like they're gonna give us a run for our money, y'all. That's just what I think. And she's pretty much in and out. Like I said before, this job comes second to her dancing. And Shawndarika, she actually has been in Atlanta for 4 years, and like I said, she just be having an attitude. We also are introduced to Brandon, who is the staff manager, who also stepped up as the GM, even though he wasn't formally trained. And if you guys watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, I was getting like some serious black Jalen Marcel, like, I was getting that whole vibe when I heard that. I'm like, okay, so we're just putting people in positions now. Oh, Jesus. Oh, here we go. But anyway, like I said, they walk in, introduce him, and before he could even open his mouth, y'all, I kid you not, she was like, ew, Shawndarika, ew, I don't like him. And I'm like, girl, what? Like, and it honestly got so bad for a minute that I was like, did something happen off camera and we didn't see it? Like, what is going on that she just has all this smoke for this man? I don't get it. But it's making her look crazy, if anything. And so then Don Juan pulls her to the side and is like, what's up? And she's just like, he's rude, he's this, he's that. And then he comes over and he's like, basically his whole thing is, you don't like it? Like, it's either my way or the highway. Like, in so many words, like, if you don't like it, you could always find another job. Like, we're not even about to do this. But it's not up for, debate or question or nothing like that. And then she gets emotional and whatnot. Again, line is still out at the door, y'all. Line is still like, they ready to open, or the people are ready for them to open, and they're still like dealing with this or whatever. And she gets emotional, like I said, but once she comes back and rejoins the group, she's telling Dominique like what happened or whatever. And Philip is right there, and he's like, yo, I hear you guys talking about me. Like, why? Like, we should be getting geared up to open these doors and serve these customers. And why are you thinking that you got all the time in the world over here to talk about me to other staff? Like, I cannot hear you, and I can hear you clear as day. So he was like, you know what? You're good. You're good, honey. You can go home for the day. Like, we're good. We're good for today. You go right home. And I'm like, I'm not even mad at him, honestly. And Kandi was like, oh, I didn't really like that or whatever. But I'm like, well, that's what happens. And I will also say that no one really looked enthused. And I was enthused that Philip was going to be the new head in charge, because they are clearly used to just doing whatever the hell they want, however the hell they want, whenever the hell they want. And it's kind of just like, I mean, that's cool to be like in a environment where you feel comfortable and you like everybody and everything. You actually like going to work, that's fine. But when that doesn't match up with the standard and the quality of service that you're giving to the customers, you need to reevaluate something. And I'm like, okay, Kandi, like, girl, come on, like, we gotta get this together. Like, I'm the type of person, I don't care what it is, and I know she got 50 million other businesses to worry about. I know, but this one right here, honey, like, I'm gonna need you to, you can't, start a business, you gotta follow it all the way through, whatever. And I'm not saying you guys need to be up there every single day, but if somebody's not working out just because they've been there for a long time, sorry, you gotta go. I'll give you a good reference though. But anyway. So next scene we get, Kandi goes over to Aunt Nora's house, and she basically, throughout this whole scene, she's basically asking them like what they think about the restaurant, what they think about the staff, and like getting their viewpoint on things, because even though they don't actually work there or anything, the menu, if you guys do not know by now, is based off of their own recipes, and they've provided a lot of input into the business, and they do come down there and take pictures and all that type of stuff. So it makes sense why she would, want to know what they think about it. And well, first of all, I always thought that Aunt Bertha was the oldest for whatever reason. Like, I just assumed that she was the oldest, but it's actually Aunt Nora is the oldest. She's 82. And I was like, nah, like, they all look great for their age, but I was like, 80, nah, you're not 82. Go ahead, girl. And Aunt Bertha, she is 80, and then Mom Joyce is 72. But they all pretty much, Kandi takes them outside one by one and is asked them, like, what they think, and they're, what was it? Aunt Bertha was like, yeah, Shawndarika, like, Kandi's like, Shawndarika? She still works there or whatever. She's like, oh, she don't see it for her. And they even played a flashback of Aunt Nora, like, she almost had to go upside somebody's head. And basically, they probably would be down for her to just scrap everybody and start anew. They don't really see it for much of anybody up in there. And I have to agree. Based off of just this one episode, I'm sorry, I have to agree. I don't really see it for anybody either. Sorry. And we also, real quick, when the producers asked them, are they an actual like gang or whatever? And they was like, no, we ain't no gang. Like, we go to church every Sunday. And I was like, oh Lord. All except for Mama Joyce. She let it be known that she'll be there every Sunday. I was like, oh boy, I cannot. But that was pretty much it with them. Like I said, they all pretty much said the same thing, that nobody really cares. Like, no one really cares about the business. And I'm like, again, come on, Kandi. And she also asked them to stay out the kitchen, because apparently they'd be going up in the kitchen, and that's kind of how things get, you know, rocking and rolling. So she's like, can you just stay out the kitchen, please? So we'll see. Of course, Mama Joyce is like, we don't be starting no mess. Girl. Ma'am. Come on now. Anyway, she also lets them know that she wants to have like a reunion with all the old staff and whatnot. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And that's like the next day. So it's the next day, and we meet another old staff member who is Torin. Apparently he quit but he still kind of wants to be like in the fold. He was in charge of like their weekly Friday events or whatever, I guess before COVID or whatever. And he kind of was like being stretched too thin, and it just got to be too much. So he was like, okay, I'm good or whatever. But I guess he wants to come back. And of course, Kandi's gonna basically she's down to have anybody back at this point. I'm like, I don't really think that's a good idea, but okay. And then we have everyone arriving at the reunion. Shawndarika's back. She's still not feeling Philip, and I'm just like, girl, like, I mean, again, you could always go leave, but whatever. She says she's decided to go along and go with it though, whatever. Dominique and Brandon, they got a little something going on, apparently, I think, maybe, or trying to kick something off. Because when asked, like, is she the reason why you started working or whatever, he was basically like, yeah. And I'm like, that is the dumbest in the world I have ever heard. Like, so what happens if you guys don't work out? And you being the manager, like, you should not be fraternizing with the staff. Like, that could be taken, that could go really left, is all I'm going to say. So they need to be careful of that. Kandi and Todd arrive, and they still got conflicting viewpoints on all this stuff. And then we see Torin. He comes back and says he wants to, you know, come back, as I said before. He's also cool with Shawndarika and Dominique. So I'm like, they're only grown, like, their little clique is just growing and growing. We also meet another ex-staff member, Brian, with his curly toupee, honey. He walks up handing out flyers for his food truck, egg rolls or whatever. And I'm just like, oh, well, I kind of want to taste one of those egg rolls. I'm not gonna lie. Are they like soul rolls or like what's in them? Like, I'm trying to know. Ooh, girl, if y'all hear that, it just started pouring outside. He comes back and he's handing out flyers. Kandi asks him back too, and he wants in. He's down for it. We also meet Rashad. He is the host at Blaze. When I tell you, he be like, if there's anybody on this cast right now who I've seen with my own two eyes, this man can dress. He can dress up. He would dress you up and down all at the same time. Like I said, he works at Blaze, but Kandi did say that she wants him to come over and work at OLG a couple days a week so he could teach Shawndarika something things, if you know what I mean. But of course, when she introduced, he accepts, even though he says that it pays a little bit less than Blaze, or plays a little bit less. So that's unfortunate. But when he goes to go meet Shawndarika, because, you know, they're going to be working hand in hand together at the front, you know, hosting, she is like, oh, yeah, I'll teach you everything I know. Like, you know, I'll put you on or whatever. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, you going to put him on or is he going to put you on game? Like, because I think it's all the way around. But what do I know? But she welcomes him with open arms. Everything is good. So fast forward. Oh, I believe we also saw, like, everybody was getting really turned at the party, and to the point that Todd had to like cut off the alcohol because like it was, and I get it, like you want to have fun, and I've definitely had multiple, like especially military and stuff like that, parties and stuff like that, and gatherings and work gatherings and stuff like that, when people are drinking and stuff like that. But I just personally that's just never my thing to get smashed in front of like the bosses and all that. But whatever. Next day, we see Rashad is over at OLG for his first day. Everything is cool. Oh no, everything's not cool. You want to know why? Because Miss Shawndarika, I'm sick of saying her name at this point. Like this whole episode, Shawndarika, like it was like too much. And she is up in the mirror doing a whole bunch of this and driving like this because she is damn near late as to work. And it's like, girl, like, are you serious? You should not. And mind you, like I said, apparently, I'm assuming at this point, they're notorious for having the line wrapped around the block. And the line is down the street, and she's just now trying to roll up. And I'm like, okay, girl, like, you can't be doing that. Like, there's no reason why you should be rolling up, you know, while the customers are rolling in. Like, there needs to be some type of preparation. I mean, just me in general with anything in life, I don't like to just get there on time or whatever. I like to, you know, get inside the workplace. I like to put my stuff down. I like to get my mind together, and then boom, green light, ready to go. I guess she's different, and she wanted to blame it on Atlanta traffic, and I'm like, no, you didn't just try to blame it on the traffic, saying that you not used to it still, and you be here for 4 whole years, girl. You about to just be selling those designer sunglasses if it was up to me. But whatever. Brandon also thinks that Philip's uptight too, which I was kind of like, okay, whatever. And, well, gee, they get there and they're taking pictures. Everything is cool. Rashad is not a fan of the steps. Apparently this OLG is set up differently than Blaze, and he had to go up and down because they got a dining room upstairs and downstairs, and he was just not a fan of it. He was not feeling it at all. And I was like, oh, I don't even blame you. And he got, you know, it's all dappered down, so he probably hot as hell. Everything's cool. They cranking. Then the power goes out. And I was like, not Aunt Bertha talking about some, oh, y'all's power done went out. Girl. But Philip's trying to figure out what the happened. There's still a line, and kind of he was more so concerned about people running off on with their tabs. And I was like, and this has happened to me before, mind you. But in San Diego, me and my husband, this has happened to us when we were eating and the power just went out. And well, in our situation, they thought we was about to leave write our card number down on a piece of paper and just like leave it, and they were just gonna charge it on like Tuesday when the power came back on. And we were like, no. Not gonna happen. Never. So you got me fucked up if you think that was gonna happen. So I don't know what Philip was thinking. Oh, mind you too, Rashad was really like, not feeling things, because I guess they got tablets and all in the whole 9 over at OLG or over at Blaze, but OLG, they got pen and paper, honey. And he was just like, and I was also like, okay, Kandi, like, this, I'm sorry, but this episode kind of made them look really effing cheap. Like, really effing cheap. Because it's like, come on, like, why don't you they can't get no tablets. They can't get no backup generator. They can't get none of that. Like, come on. Especially, the issue for me was that they know that this is a occurrence that happens whenever it wants to happen. So I get it if this was just an isolated incident, but if this has happened before, this is probably why I'm not gonna say that, I'm not gonna make those accusations, but this definitely doesn't help you continuously try to increase your health code or whatever. It doesn't help that if you got power that's about to be out for 3 hours and your food's about to spoil. Like, come on, y'all got money. And Todd talking about some, he just don't really, it's a lie. You don't want to go down there and do all the stuff that he needs to do. You guys got all those people on your team. Like, it's going to lose you. In my opinion, it's going to lose you guys more money than it will for you to actually invest in it. Like, there is no reason. And I say that mostly because they know that this is something that happens a lot. And the way that OLG is kind of just like, I feel like a tourist attraction mostly. Like, people go there, and I've heard like some of the food is good or whatever, but it's more so just to like see maybe celebrity and like the experience and whatnot. Like, oh my God, Kandi from Escapes restaurant, or you know, Kandi from Real Housewives of Atlanta's restaurant. Oh my God, girl, we gotta go. Like, I get it, but ain't a celebrity in the world that would make me potentially get food poisoning or horrible service just to maybe get a couple pictures. Like, no, it's not that important. I feel that kind of irritates me because there's like smaller businesses that are working like 10, 15 million times hard and don't even get half the recognition. And then it's kind of like, well, you know, you have a large following, people are going to come regardless. So like, I feel like you should still take as much pride in the quality of the service that you're giving out. And I wasn't really reflected in this episode, but I don't know. And then at one point, I think Dom Unique was like embarrassed about the power being out. And I was like, I don't know why, like, whatever. I'm just like not understanding like at all, like how they let that, you know, happen. Of course, by that point, Kandi had pulled up and was like, oh, watch they think I didn't pay my bills. Kandi didn't pay my bills. And I was like, nobody's thinking that, but we are looking at you like, girl, like, really? Like, get a generator. Philip also told Brandon at one point to figure out what was up with the payments, like, manage, because it was him, cousin Melvin, who's also the head cook, chef, and maybe Dom Unique. It was like a couple of them sitting there just like twiddling their fingers or whatever. And I'm like, you do know you're still the manager, right? So you do know that even though the power's out, you need to manage, right? And then you need to be in the kitchen, maybe trying to whip up something, whatever, canning out water, whatever. It's hot as hell. I'm pretty sure they shot this in the summer or whatever. It was clearly hot. People was fanning themselves and stuff like that. Y'all should be trying to, you know, make sure you're not about to get 200 million negative reviews as soon as these people walk up out of here. That, and no one's about to ever tell me that I gotta stand here for 6 hours just to pay a damn bill. No, not gonna happen. But y'all, I liked it. I did. I liked it. And like, Kandi's never been like my favorite housewife or anything like that, but I liked it. I like what she's got here. And I could definitely see a lot of people were comparing it to like the, what was it, the Pink Teacup? I can't think of it right now. There's like a couple shows that it kind of remind me of. And I was like, I like this. It's something new. It's something different. It's a lot of fresh faces that we've never seen before. And I'm sure they have other staff too, but these are just the ones that decided that they were down to be on camera maybe. I liked it, y'all. So please let me know what you guys think of this recap and review. And the season's highlights look pretty good. So I will definitely be reviewing this going forward. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.